Hey everyone, it's me Jupiter Amru from Informatics department. I'm a tell you guys about my opinion for smoking in the campus area. I think it depends. Smoking in the campus area is not even good things because university is education places, which is we all know if smoking is not good for health. Also, it isn't ethical to smoke in the study area because it could disturb the comfort and health of others. If we smoke in the campus area, it's not only us who could get the effect. Everyone could get the effect too. In other hand, if it doesn't burden any party, perhaps a smoking area could be provided because we are already in legal age for smoking. Because some people needs to smoke because addicted too, and some people couldn't have any good day without smoking. So the point is, we should be respect to people who smoker and non-smoker. Also, if there's no smoking area in the campus, don't try to smoke and just follow the applicable regulation. I think that's enough for me. I hope my opinion will be received and positive, of course. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Yupit Amru. I want to present about adverbs of frequency. Adverbs of frequency are adverbs used to indicate how often an activity or event occurs. These adverbs function to answer the question, how often. In addition, these adverbs are often used in sentence to provide further information about the frequency of an action. An adverb of frequency is a word that tells how often an action happens. It shows the regularity or repetition of an activity over time, whether it happens always, sometimes, or never. This verb helps answer the question like how often does something happen, how regularly is the action repeated, how frequently does it occur. Example: how often does the exercise daily? And the second example: how frequently do they visit the park? They visit rarely. And the third example: how often do you eat pizza? I eat pizza sometimes. Excerpt of time. Excerpts of time are words that tells us when an action happens. They play a crucial role in English sentence by providing important context, helping us understand the timing of event, whether you are describing something that happened in the past, is happening now, or will happen in the future. Excerpts of time add clarity and precision to your communication. The primary purpose of of time is to answer the question when. For example, I say her yesterday, when we will leave soon. Mastering a third of time is essential for anyone looking to improve their English fluency and express themselves clearly. Some of the most frequently used thirds of time include today, tomorrow, yesterday, and the second point, later, now, soon, and the third point is afterward, eventually, already. Here are a few examples of this verb in action. The first point, I'll finish my homework today. And the second point is, they are planning to visit us tomorrow. The third point, we talked about the event yesterday. Isolated example for clarity. We will call you later, but please busy now. To expand your vocabulary and learn more at work of time, consider using Conselina. This app is perfect for memorizing adverbs like soon and later. This with with silently present method. Placement in sentence. Adverbs of time are flexible and can appear in different parts of a sentence, depending on what you want to emphasize. At the beginning, tomorrow we will start early. In the middle, I have already finished my work. At the end, I will call you later. It's a little example to clarity. The first point is like, now let's move to the next topic. And the second point, they will meet us afterward. The key is to place the adverb where it falls naturally in context. Common mistake to avoid. While adverbs of time are generally easy to use, misplacing them can lead to confusion. Pay attention to where the adverb is placed to ensure your meaning is clear. Example of a misplaced adverb: incorrect. Now I will go. Can sound abrupt or unclear. The correct one, I will go now. Clearly communicates your intention. When in doubt, try move try moving the adverb around the sentence to see what sounds most natural. By understanding the purpose, placement, and common error related to adverb of time, you will find it much easier to use them effectively in your writing and speaking. Difference between adverbs of time and frequency. Adverb of time and adverb of frequency may seem similar since both add detail but action, but they serve very different purpose. Adverb of time focus on when an action happens, while adverb of frequency describe how often an action occurs. Understanding this distinction will help you use both the type of adverbs effectively in your speaking and writing. Example: adverb of time we will meet tomorrow. And the second example: adverb of frequency we often meet. By comparing their usage, you can better determine which type of adverb to use based on what you want to express. Usage in context. The purpose of each adverb time becomes clear when you see them in action. Let's compare. The first point. Adverb of time provides a specific moment and period for an action. Example: we will meet tomorrow. And the second point. Adverb of frequency indicates how regularly an action occurs. Example: we often meet. Accelerate its tempo for clarity. I will visit together this week. And the second point, I always visit my grandmother on Sundays. Frequency. Overlapping verbs. Some verbs like sometimes fall into both categories depending on how they are used. For example, as an adverb of frequency, sometimes a walk in the park describes how often the action occurs. As an adverb of time, I will visit you sometimes next week describe when the action will occur. These overlapping adverbs can add versatility to your sentence but require careful attention to their meaning and context. Types of adverbs of frequency. Definite adverb. The definition of frequency refers to a specific pattern in which an event occurs regularly and can be measured accurately in a specific amount. Basically, some adverbs commonly used with these adverbs include every, numerical, frequencies, and specific time frequencies. Indefinite adverbs of frequency provide a general idea of how often an action occurs without specifying a specific time. In general, this type of frequency information can be estimated through percentage divided into 5 like 10%, 60 until 70%, 50%, 10 until 20%, and 0. Definite adverbs. F indicates a regular pattern that occurs at regular intervals. Example: include every day, every week, every month, and every year. Every must be followed by a specific time. You need to indicate an event that occurs periodically and regularly. Frequency numerical and frequency numerical like once, twice, and three times provide specific information about how many times an event occurs within a given time period. For example, once a week means the event occurs once in a week. Specific time frequency. To describe a more specific frequency on a regular basis, you can use adverbs of frequency such as hourly, daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly, or annually. For example, hourly describes an event that occurs every hour, while monthly indicates an event that occurs every month. Indefinite adverb of frequency. 10%. Adverb in the category Adverb in this category indicates an activity that is carried out every time without exception. Adverb of time include always, every time, and constantly. 60% until 70%. If there is an action or activity that happens frequently but it's not always done, then use the adverb usually, often, normally, frequently, and regularly. 50%. The express activity that only happen around 50% of the time. Example of adverbs that can be used include sometimes, occasionally, seldom, and frequently. 10% till 20%. There are adverbs that can help you express activity that occurs very frequently or even almost never. For example, adverbs are rarely and hardly ever. 0%. Adverbs in this category indicate events that never occur. For example, include never and not once. Adverbs of frequency formula. Adverbs of frequency for verbal sentence. In sentence containing verbs, adverbs of frequency are placed before the main verb. The formula is subject plus adverb of frequency plus verb. Example: he always eats breakfast at 7 a.m. The adverbs of frequency is nominal sentence. Nominal sentence are sentences that use to be, like A and C are words to us. In this pattern, An adverb of frequency is placed after to be to indicate the frequency of an subject condition or state. Formula: subject plus to be plus adverb of frequency. For example, he is always on time. Adverb of frequency for emphasis. For emphasis, adverb of frequency can be placed at the beginning of a sentence before the subject to emphasize how often someone performs an action. The formula is like adverb of frequency plus subject plus verb plus predicate, subject plus verb plus predicate plus adverb of frequency. Example sentence: always, Alfie comes late to the office. Adverb of frequency in interrogative sentence. To form an interrogative sentence, you usually use how often, followed by an auxiliary verb, do, does, did, and a subject and a main verb. For example, how often do you visit your grandparents? You can also use a simple direct question. The formula is so auxiliary verb, subject, adverb of frequency, verb, predicate. Example sentence: do you often come here? Adverb of frequency with modal verb and auxiliary verb. When using modal verb, can, could, will, would, should, must. Or auxiliary verb have, has, and, is, are, was, were. The adverb of frequently is placed after the modal or auxiliary verb or and before the main verb to indicate the frequency of the action. The formula is subject plus modal verb plus adverb of frequency plus main verb. Example sentence: he can always find a solution to the problem. And the second example: they have never been to Paris. This is with modal verbs when using auxiliary verb. The adverb of frequency is placed between the auxiliary verb and the main verb to indicate how often the action is performed. The formula is subject plus auxiliary verb plus adverb of frequency plus main verb. For example, I've never visited Dubai. Example of adverb of frequency: definite adverb of frequency like daily, weekly, monthly, annually, hourly, once a week, twice a month, 3 times a year, every other day. Indefinite adverb of frequency: always, usually, frequently, often, sometimes, occasionally, seldom, rarely, hardly, never, hardly ever, and never. Definite adverb of frequently. The first, for example, I visit my grandmother weekly. And for the daily, we check her email daily. And for once a week, they meet for lunch once a week. For annually, we go on vacation. We go on vacation annually. And for every hour, the bus arrives every hour. And with twice a month, like we exercise twice a month. We hold meeting 3 times a year. He calls her mom every day. He waters the plants every other day. I take my message hourly. Indefinite adverb of frequency example: he always arrives on time. We usually have dinner at 7 p.m. They frequently travel abroad. He often goes to the gym. I sometimes read before bed. We occasionally watch movie together. We seldom eat fast food. They rarely make mistakes. We hardly ever get sick. I never skip breakfast. Thank you.